Whilst social media appears to be everywhere, particularly in marketing and consumer worlds, there is some reluctance to take it up within organisations in all sectors, and it's understandable that people have concerns about the openness and the instant real-time nature of social media and technologies. What people probably don't realise is it's a really effective learning tool. I go on record saying that Twitter is one of the most useful learning tools I've ever come across in my life. I find information out when I want it from people who are closely connected. It's as good a form of research as Googling, looking at Wikipedia, or downloading some PDFs from a research institute. So the validity of social media I don't think is questionable. So attitudes and the technology are often the barriers, and they can be quite easily overcome. I would urge people, if they're thinking about using social technologies a lot more, to experiment and start to play on a small scale and build that up once they've proven that this stuff is valid, relevant and flexible. I think ultimately social technologies is a learning tool that wraps around the learner. In the charity world, I think people could seriously leverage the amount of information they are obtaining and can utilise that would help them be more efficient, more effective and more communicative, both inside the organisation and with their external users. Learning professionals have a lot to play with this. Learning professionals often sit on top of an organisation's learning agenda and would traditionally run classrooms or operate e-learning programmes, and social media feels a little bit more chaotic than those, but social media can be channelled and used when the people's level of skill and operation and understanding are brought up. So I'd urge all learning professionals to start using social technologies themselves, and then once they've developed a skill, share that with other people and bring their other colleagues' levels of skills up, and then it starts to become a learning community without the confines of any technology that prevents people having access. It's open, it's accessible, it's on all devices, and it's used when people want to find the content and make it the most useful for them. So as a learning tool, I think you'll really know you've arrived on a social media and a social learning platform when you can see that your staff across your charitable organisation are creating their own content, podcasts, video streams, animated clips, infographics, Twitter feeds, Tumblr blogs, and all of those are made accessible to people within the organisation by the learning professionals who understand how they line up with the company's mission, the priorities, the values and the competencies. Then you have a repository of information which is digitally created by people who are specialists in roles, and the learning professionals make that available to people.